What's up, y'all? This is your girl Megan from the HoodAstroQ, and today I will be doing my continuation of Pluto through the signs, okay? And of course, we will be discussing none other than the generation Pluto in Scorpio, aka millennials, okay? This is my generation, these are my peoples. So I'm a little bit in my bag on this one, the best generation to date. So, there's a lot of things to consider when we are talking about the effects of Pluto in its home sign of Scorpio. Pluto was last in its home sign of Scorpio in 1983, and it lasted there through 1995. It retrograded in and out of the sign, throughout that time period, but it completed its journey in Scorpio in 1995. So your modern day millennials are people who are born throughout that time era. Now, I will say, when we're just talking about the technical term millennial, I know a lot of people on the internet define it as like 1981 through 1996, but we don't care about that, right? We're talking astrology, astrological terms, 1983 through 95. Now, this era brought about a strong need for the collective to indulge in the darker side of humanity. There was this kind of widespread or collective push for humans to really examine a lot of the darker parts of life, for humanity to examine the darker parts of life, looking the devil in the eye, so to speak. So this manifested in a lot of the culture in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s, taking a turn towards very like morbid and extreme themes. So, for example, horror films and novels were on the rise. Murder mysteries and whodunits, crime shows such as Bad Boys, What You Gonna Do? What you gonna do when they come? Yeah, I'm telling my age here, but I know if you're close to my age, you have to remember the show Cops coming on television. So where there was this kind of focus towards crime. Scorpio is the sign of crime. So, whether we're focusing more on crime or murder or, things that are just very gory in nature, graphic in nature, there was a very extreme shift. And I know a lot of people living during this time period, particularly people from other generations, kind of witnessed this moment in time, these years as the unraveling of the moral fabric of society. It made a lot of people very uncomfortable. And therein lies the power of that Scorpio energy, that Pluto energy. It's very much about taboo. It's very much about the things that most people don't see or even care to see. And speaking of this focus on criminality, right, and crime, even when we're talking about politics, the political era very much reflected this as well. In 1994, Bill Clinton, the president at the time, signed the infamous crime bill, which implemented new and harsher sentences for crimes. It really sought to criminalize a lot of black and brown individuals. There was this thug culture that permeated a lot of circles, a lot of political circles, and it was a high priority issue. A lot of people were focusing on how to target crime, how to combat crime. A lot of politicians were under immense pressure, which is another manifestation of that Plutonian and Scorpion energy. But they were under a lot of pressure to solve, quote unquote, these problems or to be tough on crime. And it's also not overlooked that a lot of this crime that existed at the time ran concurrent with, the drug epidemic. Okay. Because also during this Pluto Scorpio generation or era, we saw the birth of what we know to be the crack epidemic, the crack rock cocaine epidemic, whatever you want to call it, where the government. Hey y'all, I hope you enjoyed what you heard. If you did, head on over to my Patreon and become a part of the Astro fam. Over there, I regularly upload content like this, as well as like a lot of other shit. So yeah, make sure you practice unconditional self-love so that you can love others. I'll talk to you guys very soon in the next video. Bye.